How did you discover to make a knot with 2 loops rather than one?
Well, that is interesting on a bowline knot. When I was a child in church school, we had classes such like Boy Scouts, and so we had what we call J&B, or what we call uh, Junior Missionary Volunteers. Now it's what we more or less could be like Boy Scouts. We had different honors we had to do, and one of them was in night time, and at the time I didn't see much sense in it, but then I learned to like my knots pretty good, and the night time did come in handy because working at a carpenter trade and having pulled timbers up several stories high, nobody tell you how to tie a knot. It was good to know what you were doing because otherwise I could have got myself hurt or killed.
Yes.
Now, when I was in Elkins, West Virginia, our lives depend on that night time. We had to let each other out of trees, over cliffs, and across streams. And you better know what you're doing, otherwise somebody's going to get hurt or killed. And the lieutenant in charge thought I was pretty good at night time, so he happened to help instruct some of the others at night time. So it ended up that in practicing for my night time, we had a man on each end practice tying the bowline knot. Okay. So now, when it ended up, there wasn't enough rope to go around. So I decided I was still want to practice, so I doubled the rope. This is Elkins, West Virginia. So I doubled the rope, I made myself a bite, and I tied my bowline knot with the rope doubled. End up with a double loop. Now, when I was on Okinawa and I had all my cages, I had to get the men off the escarpment. I only had one rope that we used to pull up all our ammunition and supplies up onto the escarpment. So the men to get my men off the escarpment, I tied the man onto the structure, and the top stuck out about 5 foot more, and I did about 30 feet or more below. And when the little started swaying in the breeze, I didn't have sufficient rope time like I should, like I wanted to, but I tied rope on the legs and underneath the arms. The arms came up, but the ones on the legs fell. Well, I got a scare because I was afraid it was going to beat the letter to the ground. Then the Lord brought to my mind this knot I'd never seen or heard of before. And I put the leg through each one of these loops, then I doubled and tied rope underneath the arm, and then I had a rope to reach down below to hold the man away from the cliff, and at the top there was a tree, and I make several bites around the tree up the top, and all I had to do was slack off on the rope. When I got to the bottom, all I had to do was untie the rope from underneath the arm, and I pulled the thing up, and for the double loop I could use that for legs over and over. So I think you can see how the knot came in very handy, and so that is what made it possible to rescue my men as I did. Okay.
Were the Japanese soldiers trained to kill our medics during combat?
Yes, they sure were. In fact, they did a very good job at it. When we were on Leyte, we went down over 50% on our medics. And the reason for it was this. This information I understand was gotten from a Japanese major. They were taught to kill the medics because it broke down the morale of the men because they had no one to take care of them when they got wounded. but to wound as many infantry as possible. And so doing, it knocked from 7 to 12 men out of action and full expense on the country. So that's why the Japanese out to get all those medics they possibly could.
When was the first time you treated a wounded soldier? Did one of your men pick up a fountain pen?
Right now, this experience you're referring to is on Guam. We were taught under no condition were we to pick up anything, not even to a fountain pen, American pen. We were going along this trail, and these trails was full of booby traps and Japanese. And so as we were going along, I heard a heavy blast and a call for medic. A man fell on each side of the trail, ready to go shooting, thought that we would run that Japanese trap. But when I ran forward, I had these men blown up, and this fellow was still sizzling, smoking from this booby trap. This is Japanese apparently booby trapped American, maybe a shape of pen. So when Uncle Sam say keep your hands off, they can be booby trapped, you better believe it, because the Japanese, they would use any means they possibly could, and it's not that, it's in time of war. That's one of the games of war, to get the other person any way you can before they get you.